Hi, this is GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. This is my update on my general heli flying, and we're going to look at my current crop of helicopters. I'm just going to explain a little bit about my progression, what I'm doing, and then I'm going to show you on the simulator, because again it's windy and I've got no one to film me, a little bit of heli flying just to show you how I've progressed and how I use the simulator, because I think it's important to note that I quite often get asked how useful do you think a simulator is, and it can be useful if used in the right way, and I'll just sort of demonstrate that in a minute. So as you can see, I've got the 180 CFX closest to us, then the 360 blade CFX with a new canopy on it just to match the little one there. I just like the high vis green. I like the monster sort of canopies. And a new addition there, which is the big heli. I wanted a big heli, but I didn't want to go silly big, and I didn't want to go nitro, and the TREX 550 is just perfect. It's got the 600 DFC head on it, so it's nice and simple, and I've got a Micro Beast controller in it, because I'm getting used to how to set those up now and getting on quite well. At the back there you've got the little Angry Bird, and that's my one of my favourite helis. That's the MCPX brushless, and that's actually a new one I've got off of eBay. It came with some spares and the little canopy you see there, and that is in my mind just an absolutely wonderful little helicopter, because it takes a beating, it does everything, it's powerful, it flies okay, it can handle a little bit of wind, and it's just awesome for training on, and that's what I'm doing all my practice on. I do all my inverted practice on that. And I've progressed now to the fact that I can actually hold the 550 inverted, even though I've only flown it about 3 times. I'm quite happy to do that. Now, the 360, I've had some nice flights on that, and everybody comments on how quiet and smooth it is. It's a lovely machine. The 180 I've not used so much, because it's a bit of an in-betweener, that one. It's too big for me to really fly over my local cricket pitch in the evenings. I tend to use the little MCPX, but it's a bit too small to fly over the field, the proper flying field that I go to, when I take the bigger helis. So it's a bit of an in-between one. But I have been doing some setup on that, on the speed controller now, and softening it all down a little bit, and I'm sort of falling back in love with it again. So yeah. So on to simulators. The TREX 550 you see there, I've actually got mirrored over here, and I'm just gonna, this is my den now, this is like the junk room, so let's just see how this is gonna work. Okay, so the thing to remember with your simulator, if you can find a heli that looks the same as your actual heli, then that's good. As you can see, this is the exact heli that I fly. It's got the DFC head and everything. It was a little bit too powerful on the simulator, so I've dumbed it down a little bit in the settings to make it a little bit less powerful and a little bit more realistic. And I've sort of got it flying nice and smooth, and as my actual one flies. And as you can see here, I'm quite comfortable now putting this kind of heli inverted. I can bring it towards me, move it around, move it back. I'm sort of, everything now is becoming instinctive, inverted nose in. I'm now going to start, or I have started, inverted tail in and inverted side on, and that's like almost like starting all over again. It sort of doesn't seem to be any easier or any different than when I started inverted nose in, but I'll get there, and it's just a case of learning one thing at a time. Keep on the simulator, keep on the real ones, and just getting as much stick time as you can. I try and fly every day if I can, whether it's on the sim or outside, or even the MCPX in the garden. See, if I now turn this around, just come back there, this is when it possibly goes all a bit wrong. Here we go. I've lost it now, but you know, I can bail out quite comfortably out of that. As you can see there, very impressive. Anyway, so yeah, this is just an update really of how I'm getting on. As I say, quite happy flipping it backwards and forwards, getting really used to flying inverted now, so I can do all of this with the MCPX brushless. All I do is with the bigger helis and the more expensive helis, I just do it for less time and a little bit higher up. I'll just sort of put it up here somewhere and then flip it over, and give yourself a nice lot of leeway. And so far, I mean, I've crashed the MCPX brushless loads of times, but I've had no incidents with any of the big stuff. The other thing I am currently, learning, it's a very slow and difficult process, and that is tau first circuits upside down and inverted. They're both as difficult each other, so I'm doing that as well. Okay, so there you go. All in all, I'm enjoying the helis. I'm progressing, which is the most important thing. I've got a couple of people over the flying field, especially one that's just started helis as well, and he's progressing rapidly, and it sort of spurs you on. And we've got a few real good flyers over our heli field, and you see them doing tricks and manoeuvres. And I'm not really into the hardcore smackdown 3D stuff. It doesn't particularly interest me, but the smooth flying and the inverted toweling and stuff like that is definitely stuff that I'm progressing towards and doing really well. And I know I've got a brace of helis there, and you don't necessarily need these, but they are nice to have. I've always wanted the bigger heli, and the TREX 550 is perfect for that. Only uses one battery, a 6-cell, so not too expensive on the batteries. You can pick up a good enough battery for around 50 quid, or you can spend 100 if you want a top, like graphene, top of the range battery. And then you've got like the 360 is a lovely little heli, and the MCPX, as I say, is just a fantastic trainer. I don't think you can get that new now. I think it's the MC or the CPS, the MCPS or whatever it is, the slightly smaller one, but with the safe mode. Another heli I'm looking at getting just to do a review and have a little play with is the Blade 230 with the safe mode. I've never had a heli with a safe system or a bailout button, so I'll just be interested to try that. And I am going to source one of those. I'm not going to buy a new one, I'm going to buy a second-hand one. And we'll see how we go when I get that. So anyway, this is GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.